Howdy, folks. We're playing Conquest of Elysium 5. We are playing the Witch on a large map, the Monarchy Age. The Monarchy Age because it tends to be more balanced, of course. As I've said before, it has resources every faction needs. It's simply as I can put it. I'm going to go with like a sickly green for the Witch. It feels fitting, which means we need to change other people's colors to not match ours. These are a little too close to each other. I don't want my red. Okay, maybe a purple. Let's do that color. There we go. Get a nice white in there. That's different enough. Playing with like 13 AIs and the count difficulty. So here's the Witch lore. You could read this and pause it if you'd like here. As with everything, we're going to overview things at the end of the game, but we also talk about some stuff here and there as we see it. I talk about stats. I talk about what I think is good with the unit, that kind of stuff. We have fungi as our main resource. We use a little tiny bit of production, just a smidgen to get some cavalry. I won't use it that much. I'm not a super big fan of the cavalry on this faction. We also have poison archers that cost fungi and gold. The Witch thematically is kind of, you know, classic Witch. She hangs out in bogs and swamps and ancient forests, and nefarious creatures come to her, like these little wisp and hydras serve her. You know, she charms over things like trolls in battle and curses men and beguiles everything to her side, that kind of stuff. You know, kind of the classic Witch. We'll go see a lot of her units. We're going to call her Mignana. I like that name. If you think of names or names with titles, throw them to us. We're probably going to give Mignana a title eventually for something she does or how we're feeling about her thematically. I like to get into that while I play a little bit. Okay, start here. That's a lot of units. It's a lot of garbage on these slave workers. Okay, we're going to talk about things here. We didn't get any charm spells, which kind of sucks. That's something you like to see. Instead, we're going to be damage heavy, it seems, with all this stuff. This is an evoker witch if I've ever seen one, my lord. So the Witch has 5 HP. You can see she has some higher magic resistance for a caster early on at level 2. 10 magic resistance is pretty high. It means she's not going to get charmed by things like succubi, etc. She'll be pretty safe from that. She has 50% poison resistance. This goes up with the Witches as they go up in ritual levels, as they hit these buttons. Ritual mastery. Pretty good. She has a dagger attack, doesn't really matter. She does witchery spells level 2, which are charm, curses like Curse of the Frog Prince and regular curse, sleep spells she has. You can see acid and poison damage. She also has confusion spells. That is kind of thematically, or not thematically, that is kind of the theme of her spells here. Unfortunately, Acid Mist and Poison Cloud can hit our own troops, which we're going to fight against a little bit here. What do we get? Swamp Guardians, Mirror. We'll talk about those as we cast them. Swamp Guardians, that's not very good. Okay. I'm going to be a little constrained on early troops. I'm going to march out with a decent force here and try and take this hamlet. Gold isn't an insanely useful resource, but it'll do something for us. We're going to kill stuff pretty quickly if it's small numbers like that with our poison. I'm going to start expanding. Our troops here, these spearmen are just basically regular spearmen. They're pretty garbage. They don't have poison resistance, so they'll get hit by your stuff a lot, like your spells, and some of your units have poison auras that make them pretty deadly to each other. This is essentially a cavalryman, but with less armor and less damage diversity because they have a bite instead of a hoof attack. So they have a lance that does once per battle, so they'll do a lot of damage there, and then they'll do spear and slashing. So it's a little bit of damage diversity there. I don't tend to love these guys. They're difficult to mass unless you get particular starts early, and then later they kind of fall off as you get better armies. They could work in a patroller army with some archers, but you're not going to want to team them up with a lot of your summons, is kind of the gist of what I'm getting at. You could put them in your armies with your undead stuff you get later. That could be useful. But they're situational, is what I'm saying. They're not your bread and butter. These guys work with you pretty much the entire game, though, these archers. They have good range, unlike a lot of your early level summons that spit poison at enemies. And they have poison as well. That is armor negating on their bow. So they're pretty good versus armored units that aren't poison resistant. So lots of dwarves and Knights and things like that will take poison ticks and take chip damage from these guys, which can be helpful over time. Run around here. We see a kobold lair with poison kobolds. We are pretty ineffectual to each other later on. We're going to let them stay alive for a minute, because we're not too worried about them. A man flare, if we could afford it, we would love to get our necromancy stuff off the ground. Here, we're going to just run on this forest and grab it, getting ourselves more fungi. We need to find some swamps, though. Not going to cast any of our rituals just yet. They're not going to be super useful too much. Overrun this wolf. Go grab this forest. Chill out there for a minute. Try and find more stuff to grab as we let the poison kobolds run around. They could overwhelm our base, potentially. But we do really well versus the poison kobolds. The other kobolds, specifically the fire ones, not so much. Here we go. This is what we want. We see some swamps. We see the poison kobolds coming near us. What do they got? We also have... Our stationary stuff is kind of ineffectual versus them, so we want to be a little careful. Our acid blast will do a lot. So we're going to kind of run away, hoping they don't attack us. Okay, they run the opposite direction. We need to get those swamps. Okay. Do a ritual of mastery. Bog Eye is exactly not what we wanted. Oh my god, this is beautiful. A haven of swamps will make us very happy. Hopefully there's no stealthy units. Oh god, monster toads will attack us. They rotate around the swamp here and kind of defend it. We're in a bit of a pickle. We're going to take this. Hopefully we can get some archers here soon. Oh dear. We are in a bit of trouble against these kobolds right now. They can overwhelm our base. We're going to try something, and I can't promise it's going to work. We're going to try a Swamp Guardians thing. That's absolutely not what we wanted. This is a frog familiar. It's garbage. Oh, we're going to have to spend more. We need to scare them. This is exactly what we needed. Death funguses are going to pile on to these guys if they try and attack us. We might lose our second level witch, though, which would be a problem. But they're going to sit in the front and cast Decay. That's what these fungi do. We won't go over it too much. They have low magic resistance. They also are corpse eaters, so if these guys do attack and die, there's going to be a bunch of corpses, so they're going to have a good replication thing going on. Oh my god, this is Swamp City. Love it. Okay, they've combined their forces right next to us, and there are red kobolds. Exactly not what we want. Fire is not great versus us. And unfortunately, I think we're going to have to continue being very risque here and continue to protect our base rather than our other commander, which is pretty lame. Now, this is going to do nothing against them, which is bad, because they're all poison resistance 100. But my hope is we've deterred them with the death fungus. They're coming down towards our main guy, main lady, Mignana. I'm going to try and get some Swamp Guardians. Might get a crocodile or something. Okay, this will actually do something. It will confuse them, which will actually work. It won't poison them, so we're going to chill there. Taking our swamp. It's lame. What was that? Oh, a necromancer. Don't do well versus him later, but early when he's like this, it's fine. Leave him alone, though. You're not equipped to deal with much. Your Swamp Guardians can only really be used for defense for the most part, and we're not, so we're not getting any troops, which is kind of bad, and we have to keep kind of protecting ourselves here. In a bit of a hole. These guys won't help us at all, although the HP might scare them a little bit from attacking us. They're just kind of continuing around us. High Cultist was killed by a Priest King. Really risky first 9 minutes. We're already close to the end of year 1. We're going to save here and grab some archers pretty soon, most likely, is our plan. Don't love that we have to do it, but kind of sitting around here, being very, very cautious. These kobolds pile around. I think they also have 4 stealth. Okay, we're getting attacked by these guys. Hopefully they get confused. We're going to lose most of our army, though, unless we confuse them and they turn to our side. Oh, we got them both. Okay. That's actually pretty good. These are actually second-level summons, usually. But they're really hurt, so we need them to heal up. In the meantime, we will protect ourselves with more Swamp Guardians that can not fight kobolds very well. But hopefully scare off them with HP. These frogs will not do a lot because they're all consistent with poison damage, and poison damage does not hurt the green kobolds. We are also not able to get the archers now that we spent so much. It's lucky they don't use fungi. I'll say that because we're not a high priority for them. That is the one nice thing going on. Really the only nice thing, because we're getting overwhelmed. Marshlands is not the spell we wanted. Okay. We'll go here and grab this. Some dwarfs. Lots of little dudes running around and a priest king. We do okay versus the priest king. Plenty of stuff to deal with them. I think we'll just rotate around here for a minute. Letting our big guys heal. Maybe getting some archers here for more defense. Might be a good idea. We're going to have big stuff to stomp the kobolds, and then we're going to get rolling. Bit of trouble. We see a druid. That's actually pretty bad. The druid will charm our frogs, potentially. Although this is just a verteberg or whatever. However you call this guy. He doesn't have any spells, and he's actually pretty weak. So we'll continue to stomp on our swamps, hoping to keep them in our control. Maybe start getting some units. We could just defend them with a lot of swamp guardians. That's a strategy we could employ. It's kind of a long-term one that I don't love, but I think we're going to have to do it. So there's a lot of stompy little dudes around here who are trying to step on us and kill us. So we're going to make sure they can't take our swamps, and we're going to turn all these farms into swamps too, which is really going to get our economy going, and we're going to turn this into a cesspit of death. Oh, but we're running away. We're right next to the druid, too. He could choose to attack us. He's chose to attack the dwarves. I don't know how many dwarves were there. Not enough to hurt them, really. We will continue Swamp Gardens. But we get a crocodile, which the druid can also charm. What's the druid up to? Witch has been killed. Our brethren, no! Not our fellow coven master. Although she was our enemy, technically, but we feel for her. As we continue to get crocodiles. Finally getting a giant mushroom. This is a big poison thing. It'll do okay. I think that one puts people to sleep, if I'm not mistaken. We are seeing every faction. We're right in the middle, it seems. As we see a senator. No, this is just regular poison. This thing does explode. This one does have a lot of HP. Again, archers will mess it up, but if this, like the senator that doesn't get a lot of archers, will generally have a lot of trouble with it. We're going to get our minor guardian spell and start casting that soon. We're going to chill here, though, because, again, we don't want to get nabbed outside of a mushroom place. We're going to start building up an army and hopefully being successful. I'm going to try 21. Again, we work, I haven't said this yet, we work on a sliding scale. The higher the scale we put it, the more chance we control the unit, because we can lose control, which is obviously bad to lose control of the stuff you're summoning. You'll have to fight it. It's not fun. Grabbing another swamp right next to the druid. Could maybe try and kill the druid. I'm a little worried if there's someone nearby, though. We have hella swamp resources. This is what I was talking about. This is what you want to do, is find a swamp like this and maybe hunker down, depending on how it goes. Which is not going wonderful. Almost equipped to kill that. We got another crocodile. We'll talk about that little lizard. He's pretty garbage. It's actually something I don't love. These guys, your Marshworms, these are some of your worst summons. They're little worms that attack. Your little cavalry guys that you recruit from here are actually those worms, thematically speaking, so that's pretty funny. They ride around on these little Marshworms. It's cute. It's cute. It's actually cute. I like it because it's cute, but I hate it because it's bad. It's not a good unit comparatively what you can get. like these swamp ghosts, which have 5 HP, 6 magic resistance. They're undead, so they have cold resistance, poison resistance, sleep immunity, charm immunity. They have ethereal specifically, so 75% of attacks that aren't magical are going to miss. They're banishable and will be destroyed, so they don't go to Hades like a lot of units do who are undead. They're mindless, so they can't be charmed. That's notable versus things like the Illusionist. Hellbind Heart won't work. Any charm spells won't work. And there's some few things like Mind Burn I don't think will work on them either. Let's keep that in mind. They're floating in Swamp Move. Their Paralyzing Scream is negated easily in terms of paralyzation, but they'll do 1 damage to a lot of different units. So they're pretty good at blasting. We're going to show them off by killing the Druid. This is actually bad that the Senator's right here. We could be in a bit of a pickle. Getting some fear away. But we'll slice through these guys pretty nicely. Took a wound. Really hoping the Senator stays away. He did, okay. A little safer than we were yesterday. We could trick this out with a bunch of mushrooms. I was just really looking to kill the Druid. Doesn't seem to have impacted too much of the game state, though. What do you have? I would like that. They might attack our mushrooms. If they attack here, they'll be in a pickle because they're going to confuse all their units. And their poison doesn't hurt us, so half of their damage is missing, even though they do physical in terms of these small bows. These guys will hurt, but they will get confused pretty easily, so that's nice. We are going to continue to do minor summoning, which, yeah, let's see. Okay, we got some snails, some more snails. Why not? Let's keep going. A swamp ghost. These swamp ghosts will absolutely murder these kobolds. The low magic resistance on them is terrible, and they'll just blast through them with the scream and paralyze the hell out of them because they have such low magic resistance. Swamp ghosts are great versus low magic resistance stuff. What wound did you take? Lost his eye. That's not a big deal. He's really just a big HP tank. These things are little poison spitters. They're low range at range 3. But you can use them to defend your bases. On the walls are pretty okay because they'll fire down at the enemies coming against the walls. They're really slow. They climb walls. That's not a big deal. They have decent armor. They're mindless, so again, you might want to throw them against a mind-burning army or something if they have a lot of mind burners or charm spells. They're completely immune to that. But just keep that in mind. Hellbind Heart, stuff like that. If you're afraid of confusion in an army, you could use them for that. A lot of good reasons, too. The Black Cat Familiar works similar, if you watched our ball campaign, to the Spider Familiar. They'll sometimes grab spells when you cast your minor swamp thing. Something to keep in mind. We're going to go down here and turn these into swamps. A Druid has fully been killed now, so he's dead. I think that might have been that Kobold army that did it. It's my headcanon for the explanation. We're going to create more swamps. We're just building the infrastructure necessary to get a big army, essentially. What we're doing right now. And you can see we have just decimated. We should turn this into a swamp while we were there. We have decimated this area in terms of income, but we have made it very applicable for us. We are the Swamp Queen. Yana. They're very slow, but we'll take advantage of that. Put down some Swamp Guardians. Death Fungi are very ideal. I'm going to move this way towards the kobolds. These dwarves are apt to run through our swamps. They like to run around a lot and might start taking our stuff. We want to watch out for that. We'll take this forest. We'll plant some Swamp Guardians here. Oh, no, we'll keep a Frog Familiar is what we'll actually do. Oh, that's terrible. Senator was killed by a Druid. I'm starting to wonder if this Druid is dead or not. We don't have great scouts. We need a scout troop, but we have no gold income. We'll continue to minor summon for now, build up our army. Ah, okay. These are little poison-spitting frogs. They can be charmed by a Druid. Again, bad range on most of our poison spitters. Ranges of 3, really. That hashtag just means it's their melee attack as well. I don't know why This is indicating instead of other attacks, this is just its melee attack. But 23 HP, 3 magic resistance, these guys are okay. I don't think I've talked about them. Maybe I have. The Bog Beast is pretty good, comparatively. They're our best poison spitter, in my opinion. Because they're not slow. They have 19 HP, low magic resistance, no armor. They have cold-blooded, which will kill the strength damage, so you don't want to fight in cold necessarily with them, because it'll do a little less. It's not that big of a deal. But they have a poison spit with a burst of 1. You can see most of our stuff is burst 1, so it's not a big deal. Of course, armor negating, so that's a good poison spit, but they also have a bite, so if things go poorly, they can be your big HP defenders in the back here, which can help out a little bit. It's not bad. Tend to like them. But that dwarf leaves our swamps alone. Try and build up here. We could start swamping out this place a little bit more. I think it's okay. I think most factions would like to avoid the attrition of fighting that. We lost our hut. We might go grab our other swamps and be irritating little dwarves. I think we can take the kobold lair. I think we got the stuff to get it, because we're very poison immune and our swamp ghost will go tear them apart. So we're going to take a shot at that and take this kobold lair for ourselves. Not a big deal. Not going to do a lot for us, but more just to trigger the kobolds. I don't think it'll kill them. I'm sure they have another base. They have to at this point. Over here, we're going to do some swamp guardians and maybe upgrade our witch next turn. Some more death guys. That's good. So we're attacking this. We don't have a lot of damage we can do. Our acid blasts are going to wreck them. Our swamp ghosts are really what we're doing. And then we're immune to a lot of poisons, with the alligators being the big damage. We lost a swamp ghost. We're going to lose most of these alligators to poison stacks. Looks like we're keeping one. As we stupidly attack a gate. And we did just kill the Kobold King. Super valuable, easy to cheese him there. And a druid killed another Kobold King. I don't love to see the druid. Although we can fight the druid just fine later. It's early that we really have to be careful. And we are going to upgrade our friend up here. She got Murderous Mist. That mist will run around and kill things around us, but it'll also destroy settlements, potentially. Wait, no, is that the wall? No, this is, sorry, this is the different spell. I was thinking of Miasma. This actually just defends your walls and poison ticks anyone coming here. It'll also poison tick all of our units, which means our witch will get hurt by it. Not our witch. Our archers will get hurt by it because it's near the wall, I think. Or maybe our witch will get hurt by it too. I think it's all the units in the base. She didn't get charm, which was kind of what I was looking for. I'd love to go move into this castle with some good troops. That would be nice. We're going to overrun these boars. They bored us. But my plan is to try and maybe build up another big army. We need to get some gold. I have to keep doing this army as well. These are my favorite units. We've been kind of unlucky not getting them so far. Hydra Hatchlings. What they do is they are your frontline damage dealers, but you don't want to put them next to your spearmen because they have a poison aura. They can be next to archers because it's only a 1 damage poison aura, so it'll only tick 1 time on the archers and then they'll run past to fight. If they are spaced next to them, as you can see, they could potentially be spaced here if there weren't these big guys making it space out a tile, which is what these big guys are doing. They're making sure this is empty. But if they were next to this archer, they would do damage. They'll kill the frogs and stuff. I don't care so much about that. They'll hurt the alligator, but alligator could survive that. They're really nice, though. They have low magic resistance, and they're terrible against fire, with fire vulnerability. But they have 5% regeneration. Pierce and blunt resistance means they have better than armor, in my opinion, at this point. Except versus slashing weapons. So they're bad versus slashing, but really good versus everything else. They're very attacky, with magic attacks. Not magic attacks, but poison damage that is armor negating if they hit somebody, which is 1 to 5. They could do up to 8 damage there. Pretty brutal, in my opinion. Pretty harmful. More alligators. I do not like getting alligators. They're some of my least favorite units on this faction. I think they're really out of place when it comes to your lineup. We see there's a dwarf queen with a big silver mine. I'm a little interested in grabbing this to get the money from it. I'm a little worried about her fire attacks, but we kill dwarves with our poison spit pretty easily. We don't have that many arbalists. This could be definitely something we pursue. Oh god, a marshworm. A swamp ghost, not really what we needed to fight this. So we'll kite around for a minute. We have a stone drake here. We can kill that pretty easily. Again, with our poison going past a lot of heavy armor, we do very well versus heavy armor because of all of our poison. Not losing any of our swamps. It's just cold. That's why our income has gone down. Poison spitters are getting us ready to fight this dwarf, because they have high armor. There's a little cold kobolds here. Figured maybe there was something we didn't see in the stealth, because they have snow stealth, but not a big deal. This is an easy grab. We might lose a swamp ghost down here. We did, unfortunately. Got blasted. It's a bad loss, but not too terrible. It's whatever, ultimately. Get our swamp income back. Swamp Thing is essentially like a Hydra, but without the poison aura, and has cold resistance instead of fire vulnerability. They also have, I think, less HP. No, they have more HP, sorry. So they have a lot of regeneration. They're also slow. You get a lot of slow units early on. Get a Manflayer. Get our death income going. But we don't really have a lot of stuff that gives us death. Yeah, we don't really have anything to give us death. Fortunate. Okay, we have a hell of a lot of a poison spit here. I don't like how outnumbered we are, but only the stuff in the front really matters. I'm worried what spell she has. But I think I'm confident we can take this at this point. You're going to see, once we get to these arbalists and they get killed, we'll start to do some stuff. Just need poison attacks on the arbalist. These snails are slow, so they're taking a minute to get up here. Lost one of our big frogs. It's not great. Expected. Okay, these are like the worst spells she could have had. She's all armor buffing, which means her dwarves are just going to get killed while she does nothing. Flame Burst would have been a problem. Might have caused us to lose this, or lose a lot of creatures doing it. We're going to take it. Unfortunately, we lost our big frog HP sacks, but we got a silver mine, so we're going to start getting money, finally. Which we can grab a scout. Definitely going to buy that now that we have available resources to do so. We want to keep our witch safe. I'd love to get some second level stuff. I like these guys. Swamp monsters, they're big HP pools with armor. Again, low magic resistance, but they have poison resistance so they can fight next to your hydras, which is kind of the value of them in my opinion. Is they can fight next to your hydras, you like that quite a bit. You do want that. It's not bad. Okay, we're going to run up here. We see a town and an ancient forest, both very valuable. Continue to get some army. We are just getting a lot of snails. I don't love that. We'll get more archers here, just find out the defense of our base. Eventually we're going to start building an army here. Marshlands. We could turn this farm into a swamp now. Should be okay. See no reason not to go hang out in this town. Besides the bear maybe wandering onto our stuff. We'll kill this pretty trivially. It's allowing us to get more gold. We're starting to get off the ground finally at 30 minutes in. It's not too shabby. We've marshlands this, so this is a swamp, making it low priority for most other factions. And giving us more resources. And one less gold, but 3 fungi is much more valuable than 1 gold. And that's 3 fungi in the best conditions. That reduces during cold, as we talked about. We'll grab this hamlet, move back here. We'll do a mirror. No, we'll do a summoning. Mirror just gives you locations of random enemies. It's not the best spell. It's like, who is trying to destroy me? You get information out of it. It's, in my opinion, rarely useful. It is my opinion. So it could be incorrect. You could find a use for it. But it's nice to do when you got free time. But right now we're trying to grow our empire. I'm going to command, conquer, and destroy the enemy, so we need to conserve. I want to get this ancient forest. It's basically like having a swamp. They don't act for bases for us like they do the Troll King. Okay. A little hodgepodgey right now and everything. Okay, we got Mirror on a 75 ritual mastery on our other level 2 witch. I was really hoping for major summoning or Miasma. Which Miasma sends poison clouds around and is attrition heavy on enemies, which is nice. Little lordship there. Want to kill these mooses. Don't want them running around. We're gonna swamp guardian this place. 1 mushroom's fine for now. Another hamlet with a bear. Hopefully they don't get back to our witch. I think it's kind of unlikely. Yeah. Oh, it did hit our witch once. If it feeble-minded her, that would have been bad. I didn't think she was going to get nabbed by a moose like that. It's trample doing a little bit of damage, but not enough to hurt our witch to where she couldn't heal it in this turn. She's also getting some XP and getting more HP, which is nice. Starting to survive a little bit better. We have a lot of swamp resources right now. We need to get this witch down here. I mean, she needs to get an army, which major summoning will eventually give her. We want to be a little careful with that. Don't want to get anything that's poison resistance in here and can fight us. But she'll start getting an elite force to move south. We have a bit of gold. I was kind of hoping to wait out for a manflayer. No, flyer. Jesus. Kill these bears. We see a labyrinth. We don't want to go in that. It's spooky. Spooky little labyrinth. We'll go with 108. Now, we failed to get a will-o-wisp, which can charm our units. These bears are asleep. Not surprising. They sleep in the cold if you don't know. So they'll go for a snooze and get absolutely eviscerated here. So we do poison damage. Acid doing a little peripheral damage to our units. Our archers have to get up here and shoot this thing. That sucks. That's 100 down the drain. But you'll get unlucky from time to time, even if you use a lot of fungi to control and lose it. It's expected attrition. Another town. That's valuable. You can't spy on me, Mr. Raven Spy. There's no units here, so we should be okay. Jumping out. Another scout. I mean, we'll keep recruiting scouts as we shore up our defenses. Just run back here. I would take this hamlet. I just don't want to risk it. It's not worth the risk. Try and grab a very minor thing. Give me my man flayer. I really need magic libraries to get a lot of this stuff, but we're dealing okay. Now, a town with a bunch of farms next to it. These are going to be soon to be swamps, which will kind of pigeonhole this town into some very rough terrain to run into for the enemy. We see maybe the ballista has been destroying stuff. Do a marshlands and a swamp guardian. Got some death fungus. Those are my favorite, actually, with their decay thing. The decay thing's so good. And they also expand if there's any corpses there. You can see, I think there's more of these than there were before. I'm not certain. I don't see a reason why we would have had corpses there, though, so maybe not. But if there was ever a battle on this farm, there will now be a little more death fungi. They'll grow and expand. And the necromancer's here, which I don't love. I'd love to see his army. Left behind a little undead guide, I think to shore up his movement. God, we just have so much poison that we cannot fight undead creatures with. Oh, goodness. Another scout, jeez. Easy Pete's. We're going to try another major summoning. Get ourselves a... No, we can't do that. 109. We'll try one more than last time. And we got the Gelatinous Cube. One of the weirder ones. Again, it's slow. It has 90 hit points. So it has a lot of hit points. It has 3 magic resistance, super low magic resistance. It's not mindless, so it can be charmed against you. It has stealth, so people can't see it. Poison resistance, all 3 resistances on physical damage, so it's going to basically have armor. So that's... It's not actually as squishy as it seems against physical attacks. It's terrible against magic. But if you set it up against knights, you'll have some hilarity as it swallows them. Problem being, it will release plenty of them when it dies, so you don't want it to die. So you want it to have enough space to where it can eat its prey for the whole battle. Uniquely. It's a very unique unit. Okay, we're going to get to see that Necromancer now and see what he's rolling with. Ooh, we could kill this. We could go kill him. We're going to be so slow getting there, though. The reason we could kill him is he doesn't have anything. We'll Acid Blast him before he does anything. And this will be tough. It'll incorporate a bunch of our units, but I think eventually we'll kill it with enough grit. Well, actually, that thing might swallow most of our stuff before our Acid Blasts get the job done. But now we have a bunch of frogs with 1 damage to distract it, basically, because, well, they'll do damage, but they'll get absolutely slaughtered. As he moves onto our silver mine, we need to get him out of here. Got another small squad. He's overwhelming us with his numbers that we don't have. We're going to go up to the army we can kill, try and take care of this guy. We need to go get these swamps still. Could start building some human units. We're going to get some cavalries. Maybe start building an army here. We'll see. I don't love how cavalries match with us, but we'll do it for trying to succeed, as we're so slow. Slow as molasses. We've lost most of our money now, so we want to be a little careful. So I want to slaughter this guy. I hope he comes to this old battlefield and doesn't get a summon off before we can attack him. We can't... Our Gelatinous Cube is basically worthless against the big incorporating beast. He's not big enough to engulf him. In fact, he'll probably be incorporated. I hope he doesn't have the old battlefield thing. That would be kind of bad. But we're going to try and kill him. We need to get him out of this game. I don't think this won't kill his faction, but it will hurt him quite a bit. Okay, please give me something good. You got a homunculus. Actually, I've never seen this tree magic, huh? This isn't a commander, is it? Nope. Okay, this is weird. Sleep and Vine Arrow, not super helpful for what we're about to do. But we're going to endeavor to win, taking everything but our fungi and going up against this beast. It'll hurt. We're not going to put much of this to sleep. I'm going to turn on Curse of the Frog Prince to try and turn this into a frog. It's going to be tough. We'll see how we do there. We'll take this back. Oh, they have the King's Castle, which means we'll have the King's Castle, because this is going to be easy to take once we get a little more frontline troops. This is going to be a little tough. Oh, brutal. We instantly put him to sleep, which means no wither. Oh, he got awake pretty early. He's undeaded one of our guys. We need to get back to him. He's decayed our stuff, so we're losing our Gelatinous Cube. We've Tangle-Vined it or whatever. We're running past. We need to get this Necromancer out of here. Our Gelatinous Cube is running away. And we did it. The loss of a Gelatinous Cube with that Necromancer and Abomination cost way more than that. The Druid has been killed by Independence. Who is our enemy? God, everyone's dying. This might be a shorter game. Oh my lord. As we built ourselves up, everyone fell apart. What year is this? Year 5. So we spent a lot of time in the marshes here. I think it's been highly worth it. Tanked ourselves out. Okay, now we can go after their castle. Our Poison Spitters are going to run up. They're going to be a little slow. I'm a little worried about our Witch maybe taking some damage from an archer or something. Our Frogs will act as distraction chaff. Ultimately, I think she'll just Poison Cloud most of the stuff and deal with it while they hurt our other things, which is okay. We'll take those trades. We need to go get our mine back. So we'll go do that with our small squad here of scouts and archers and things. See, most of our stuff is getting absolutely eviscerated. These snails need to get up here before a witch starts to get shot. Oh, this was a bad idea. This was a bad idea. Come on, snails. Come on, snails. Come on, snails. Get the crossbowmen. Okay, they're starting to hit them. My witch is not going to get shot. I'm speaking it into existence, even though that's not how that works. Okay. Whew. Very risky slow snails. What wound did we take? We gotta check that. I know it's not a feeble mind, because she still had her spells. Lost her eye. Oh, I can't rename her, actually. I forgot about that. So she doesn't get a title. She's just going always to be Mignana. That's fine. We can live with that. As we take something absolutely beautiful here. King's Castle is going to help our income quite a bit. So we run over here and take this. I don't care too much about their scout. This doesn't steal stuff. You actually can't even see it. But it does not take things from us. It just runs around and looks at stuff. So, God, the King's Castle is going to be nice. Thematically, we are now the Queen Witch. I dig it. We ride our way up here. Still haven't taken this stuff down here. We could use a commander to go grab it. But if we get a Man Flayer next turn and we can't afford it, I'm going to be salty, so I won't do that, actually. We'll be so salty. We'll be the saltiest little cracker ever. Murderous Miss. That'll help this base. We'll probably cast that on here to defend it and drop some snails. As far as I'm concerned, this is our new home. We're moving in. As our little friendly lady goes to take that town back. We will Murderous Miss this place. We don't want to keep our witch in here. We'll just keep a bunch of snails, I think, is the optimal solution. Speed up this army a little bit. Let's drop all our slow stuff and start majorly summoning things here. We're going to start trading a little bit for fungi, which will stop our income, but that's okay. We do have a magic library, which increases our chance to get wizards. Could use a temple. A temple. Okay. We've taken our town back. Things are going dandy. Fine and dandy. We don't want to run around too much with this, because the Necromancer's still kicking, and he probably has another Necromancer. Oh, no. Ugh. We're going to take our silver mine, and they're going to try and spawn a Dwarf Queen on it. Hoping to merge up some stuff here, get some major summonings with our main witch. See what happens. We might need to run her back here. We'll see what happens. More scouts. I guess we'll buy a little scout for this army. Why not? Where'd it go? Wrong army. Wrong army. Scout. I don't think I want to get too many cavalries with you. We'll invest in a little more archers for you. Grab you some of those. You've been running around with, like, no archers. But we're going to give her most of these troops. Perhaps. Okay, they're not going after our silver mine for some reason. A little weird for dwarves not to do that. We are going to jump in here. Try a major summoning. Try and get a Hydra. What we're looking for. And then we'll decide what we're going to do with the rest of our stuff. This works just as well. Okay, these are new to Conquest 5. They're the green oozes. They have 42 HP, 3 magic resistance. So you're like, what are these stats? Well, the stats are an indication of these insane resistances. These aren't great stats up here, but these tags are great. You know, 100% acid, that's not a big deal. You won't hit them as much with your acid, or at all with your acid spray. They have 100 poison, 50% on everything else here. Sleep resistance, pierce resistance. They split, which means if hit by a heart attack, it doesn't kill it at once, and it splits into more H creatures here. They have acid blood, meaning anyone attacking it will take damage proportional to the damage done. A value of 100 means that acid damage will die. Damage will be a die with a maximum value equal to the damage done. So they will do some damage against the enemy. They're also amphibious and slow. So again, we're on the slow speed. So we're probably going to take these guys with us again. But we'll grab all their poison immune stuff and some archers. And run around. Oh shit. Wrong army. Drop your cavalry. We don't want that. The rest of your stuff will take. Even your frog familiars. And our little tree hugger with us, and we'll go take this and overrun it. And you will go south. with your cavalry to take out that dwarf counselor. And go get those swamps, maybe. Or you could go north and grab that. High Cultist was killed by a High Priestess. So we're probably fighting a High Priestess very funnily, given the circumstances of the last game. They've actually taken the Kobold layer. They might mine up there, which I don't love the idea of seeing. Oh god, there's a portal to Hades, isn't there? Oh, no. Oh, that could be interesting. We could explore Hades in this one. If we don't have a lot of enemies, that is definitely an option. Which is looking like maybe the case. So maybe look forward to that. We have a lot of money. Guess we'll grab some more cavalries and throw them in this army. We could grab archers too. 2 cavalries for now. You can see the cavalries and archers all cost fungi, and the cavalry cost production, which isn't too great. We're going to grab a lord and some cavalries, spending a lot of our money to go kill this Conciliator. He's going to take a lot of damage on the lance charges. Or counselor. We want to take him out, make sure he didn't spawn a dwarf queen. Then we'll go deal with some of the stuff down south that we haven't yet. Okay, lots of gates with the dwarf queen. She's only level 2 magic right now. Pretty tough grab still. But I have an idea. And you're going to see what that idea is very soon here. And you're going to like that idea. It's one of my favorite things to do with the witch in terms of trolling the enemy. Which is absolutely what we're doing. I'm a little concerned we're not seeing a lot of enemies. Lots of dwarves. Moving out through our lands and getting to our silver mine. You see the necromancer flying back towards that town. Not a fan of that plan. We'll be able to kill this counselor. I keep calling him a conciliator. He does consolidate power for the dwarves. I'm not technically wrong. Okay. We'll do another 2nd level summon. At maximum here. Oh boy. Talk about your slimy creatures. Alright, this is the monster snail. They're big old dum-dum. They have 73 HP, 3 magic resistance, 3 armor. They have blunt resistance, which is a very unique tag at times. So they're all squishy, like your little snails. But they don't get blunt resistance, he does. Swamp move, slow, battle slow, wall climbing, with a big old poison spit with a burst of 1. This guy's just a big HP piece of garbage. He'll do a lot of damage on the spit, and it's range 5. So it's a little better, but he serves to slow down your armies quite a bit too. So it's kind of a cost-benefit situation. You can continue to chill here next to the dwarves. Counselor moving down south. They're probably going to come take our town. Ooh, we got an army. Oh, they're actually attacking the dwarves up here. Need a man-flayer. Come on, give me a man-flayer. You know you want to. We are gonna attack this army. I'm not too afraid of it. We have a lot of lancers. We don't have any archers, but we do have a giant snail, so he will poison spit. And we have clouds of confusion. Oh, we're gonna turn that confusion. We have poison clouds, confusion, and enchanted sleep. It's not too bad. This is a big army. I would love to kill it, but we got a worm. A swamp ghost. Let's get you out of here. Get to see our oozes in action. Lots of sleep in the middle. That's good. Lance is going down. Took a wound up here. Ooh, God, got diseased by something. What diseased me? What is this disease? Where did this disease come from? Hey, Floki, stop that. You're looking too much. He's taking a bath, and he's making a squishy sound. It's weird. These guys do decent damage, too, but it's not too impressive. Once they start splitting, you'll just have more units, which is okay. As they dunk on their friends here. Oh, it looks like one of them split over here. I think we might have lost one. Never healing wound. Okay. And that's the Necromancer. My god, there's not a lot of enemies left. We have thoroughly survived. Yeah, these are going to get big, though. Okay, there's enough. Still enough. Overrun some wolves. We're saving up for a ritual, and we're going to go sit in that swamp and grab our ritual that we want. So we saw the Necromancer was this way, so we're going to start stomping this way and see what we can find. Meanwhile, our cavalries can finally be free to go check this out and see if anyone's taken it. Still have not grabbed the Iron Mine or the castle next to us. I'm not too interested so much in that. Probably grab it eventually. Oh, one thing you gotta remember, which I forgot about, is that once these guys split, they stick on their own. They don't stick with you. But they still have high HP. I think they're much better in their smaller form. I like it when they split. You get more of them and they get more attacks. Even though they're not as much damage. I don't need more HP pools on this faction, frankly. Ah, Miasma. Here we go. We're going to show off Miasma. It's a little deadly, so we want to be careful. I think we're going to do some Swamp Guardians first, and then run away, and let the Miasma do its job. You can hear the movement of our guys down south. We had them set to move southbound. They're southbound and down, not eastbound. A Mushroom defending against Independence. Those work very well for that. Oh my god, there's a fucking Tatsu. I am scared. We see some purple units. These guys are really just our scouts right now. Nothing interesting to recruit. So we grab more swamps. We will do our Swamp Guardians a couple times. Okay, we have no action points. Need to check to see if this is really a portal to Hades. I'm pretty sure that's what the ash field is when I see it on Elysium. Some dwarves we're just going to ignore. This is actually dwarves as well. It's this guy. Dwarves are so... The dwarf AI is so weird. I feel like they don't go for mines enough comparatively. Although the dwarf is kind of hard to play. It's got a unique playstyle. So we're going to do that. Next turn, we're going to do Miasma. Do one more Swamp Guardians. We'll leave the crocodile with him. I don't want that. I don't want you. Where'd you go? Don't want you, Mr. Crocodile. You can stay here. We'll do a Swamp Guardians down here. Hell, why not? We'll keep this safe. Dandy. Some devil funguses, just poison clouds. Not too interesting. We can also do a level 100 summon. Not level 100, 100 sacrifice summon. We finally got a monster toad. We've talked about him. Priest King has been killed by the High Priestess. She's doing all the work. I don't dig it. And she has a lot of undead units, but we have stuff that can deal with it. It's just not preferable. The Tatsu poison immune? Okay, the Tatsu's just going to run through our swamp, unfortunately. It's kind of lame. Now we're going to have to go retake a bunch of our swamp. I don't love how the Tatsu AI is. I have always been invaded by Tatsus. They're insane in terms of running on your stuff. Not sure why. There's some lore reason why Tatsus do that? It doesn't say anything about them being especially angry, but they seem to be especially angry. You can see our ooze has reformed to a big old ooze. So we're going to go Miasma, and next turn we'll go sit on our thing and help. Miasma is a 3-tier thing, so we're going to move next turn and let the poison gas take over. And we'll get some more cavalry. They're good patrollers. They're fast. As you can see, you can put them in a fast army and run around. Oh, come on. You're just killing all our swamp guardians. It's Tatsu. The single Tatsu has decided the swamps are his domain. Very frustrating. We're going to go grab this. We don't have anything to kill that Tatsu with. We run this way. Get out of the Miasma. Let it do its work. And explore a little bit. We want to go see that too. Going mostly north here. The minute we can get another commander, we will, and explore with him and maybe take our swamps back. We'll have to see. What a gosh darn manflayer. We're almost at our time. Pretty successful first hour or so. We've gone pretty quickly because of the playstyle we had to incorporate, but that is expected sometimes that you're going to have to bunker down for a little bit and then expand. God, you are ungodly slow. Slowest little army here. Need to get rid of the snail. But it's your best unit right now in that army, really. Let's do a mirror, why not? Oh, you have a dwarf at a strange portal. Let's do it again. And a mark graph, which means more undead units. Did we miss a... Oh, we get to watch the Ballista, Abyssal Path scroll, and lots of spiders and anakites. It does not look like a main army. That looks like a side piece army. The dwarfs continue to take our stuff. They're about to be in some trouble, though, because Miasma will murder them. Not so much yet, but we gotta give it some time. But what it's time to do is continue to swamp out this area. World. Some crossbowmen available. Don't mind if I do. Build them down here. These guys also have swamp move, by the way, so they run through swamps like crazy. Hopefully the Tatsu doesn't attack us. We'll be in some trouble. We will hurt him, but likely die to him. But we'll let that take its business. We'll get some more cavalry. And continue our trek with this witch, kind of aimlessly. She needs to go take this back. And we'll drop that snail on it, I think. I'm tired of moving slow. Need more armies, but we're not getting commanders. We're getting crossbowmen. Makes me a little bit grumpy if I'm not lying to you. Okay, some little poison kobolds. I think we can clear this pretty fast. We'll archer them to death. This thing will bite a little bit. Not archer, we'll lance them to death. Take this coal mine, kill this creature, set the snail down, and maybe see what's over here too eventually. Okay, the Tatsu's decided we're no longer as interesting. We'll raid into the Ballista's lands, maybe triggering her, but that's okay. Got hurt, losing some lancers, not surprising. And we took out the kobolds. Boop, boop, ba-doop. Oh, lancers are dead. With their cheap assassin armies. This is real easy for us to kill, though, with our big poison stacks. If we can get some hydras, those will be delicious. So we know the strange portal is accessible now, so we could try go through it eventually without worrying about it murdering us. So we just saw someone fly through it. Gonna Marshlands this, grab this. Continue our slowish expansion. We desperately need commanders, which means we could use magic libraries and all that business. Got another little homunculus. I don't know about these guys. Just tree magic? It doesn't feel very worth it. Level 1 caster? I don't know. And I guess if it was animating trees or something, maybe in a forest. I mean, I see the application of it, perhaps. I don't think it's the best. I like our charm guys a lot. Now, we had that time where we were getting a lot of commanders, and now we're getting overwhelmed by dwarves. But the dwarves are slowly getting poisoned to death. I don't see it yet. Miasma should be spreading there eventually. Building up. Building us out. We'll kill this army. My lord, do we need a commander? Drop our snail here after killing these guys. Oh, we've actually converted. Oh, I didn't realize we converted a Wyvern Knight. That's funky. We have a little kobold serving us because he got confused. Joined our army. Probably terrified is the answer. The big old witch scared him. Okie dokie. Still no commander, man. This is rough. Very rough. We're going to go down here and take this out. We're going to drop our snail. Makes us abnormally quicker. And so we're actually gonna run this direction and kill these animals, and then get down here and see what's what. Okay, we see a mark graph. I'm a little worried he might axe out our Miasma, which would be a mistake on his part. Okay, stop. Stop with these dwarves. This is the dwarf madness that they like to do. Oh, we lost. Okay, we'll leave that boar. I'm not too concerned about it. Oh, finally a commander. Okay. And this guy will not take everything here. Drop like this much. And we don't need all this. We're just going to go grab this mine back. Kill this counselor. Moved really inefficiently. Oh god, he's got stuff with him. Could probably win it. Our lances are going to murder these dwarves. Before they knew what hit them. If we get another commander, we'll just send another group of lancers. We didn't, so we'll use this group. Okay, we're gonna go build some swamp guardians, maybe. We can kill this boar because it ran next to us, so we'll do that. We'll take advantage of that. Gonna want to do some summoning soon. We're okay for the second. You can see the lance is really taking the toll. Killed one of them. Took one lancer, did a wound to this guy. Never healing wound, not too big of a deal. They're expensive, but not that pricey. Another dwarf counselor to kill. A witch's apprentice, finally. Oh, and a hero. We'll grab both. Using advantage of our gold. A cold necklace, not too impactful for us. We'll give our witch some cold resistance. And she can get an army and start building out as well. Expanding for us. We're stuck here. We need to get some armies. Troops here with her. Some swamp guardians. Okay. This guy will go north here. This witch is going to go south. We see a dark citadel. We will take that. I don't think there's much down here, frankly. Getting hit with pikes. Doesn't look like any losses, so that's good. Solid work. You're very scratchy today, Floki. Bucket of my cat. As I like to do. Another commander. We actually are going to save up our money again. Not getting any paths to necromancy is very unfortunate right now. We will drop off. We have a bear. No one really to drop off here who would be too great at defending this. Not that we'll need to. We'll have to see. We'll grab this town. Questions about what we want to do here. So slow. We'll kill a counselor and take our town back and put something. We're going to put some units there just to hold it against dwarf counselors. That's generally what you want to start doing at this point, I think, if you start having a dwarf counselor invasion, which is essentially what this is. We're going to second level ourselves. Don't forget to suggest names. We got a second level charm spell. I like that. Cloud of Confusion. We'll take off the acid. This is a very good human commander because they don't have a bunch of blasting poison stuff. We got major summoning. We'll take advantage of it. Get ourselves a giant snail, and I think we'll take this army and go here. We'll leave our commander here to start building up eventually, and this should be pretty easy. Our lances will kill the miners. We might lose one of these guys. It's possible. We're almost done for this session. I think this is going to be our last turn. Nothing too climactic, but next time you'll definitely see some interesting fights. So you've seen our expansion. We made it to year 7. Kind of slow expansion here, I'd say, for what I like to do. The faction... Which in progress. I don't know why I did all caps. Which do not save over. Safety. Save. Saber. Alright. The Witch faction's pretty interesting. Lots of poison and stuff. I'm going to get into more of the in-depth strategy as we go. One of the things we really showed off at the end here is how well these guys work as patroller. Not the mushrooms. The cavalry work as patrollers. I definitely suggest it because you're going to end up swamping a lot of land, and you'll glide through swamps with these guys. Next time, we'll figure out what's down here. We might engage the Dwarf Queen, depending on how our poison does. You see a lot of wounds on these things, so they're getting hurt. They're just not dying because the miasma's not sitting on it long enough. But that is where these wounds are coming from, so hopefully they end up getting diseases and things. Hopefully that happens to the Dwarf Queen, and we might not even have to kill her personally. I just want to avoid all the ballista hits and really show off Miasma, because you can just leave it with some mushrooms and let it take its effects. But thank you for watching. If you liked the video, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Suggest names, guys. We need names. Stay tuned for more stuff. I'm planning on maybe doing some second channel stuff. I want to do some media and political content on my other channel. It'll probably just be talking about it, so subscribe to Clean Dungeon. That's in the channels if you want to see that stuff in the future. It might take a while to come out. My main focus right now is Conquest when I have free time, but here and there I've been writing some stuff I want to do, so we'll do that. We're going to do planar explainers and mod reviews that I've been talking about for a while. First one I'm doing is this insectoid mod. I think thematically it's pretty cool, but we're going to do some maybe criticisms of what the mod could do. Positive criticism as always, not like, oh, this mod is icky. More like, hey, you should put this, this, and this would make the mod better. And that's kind of what we're doing in the future here. So stay updated with the channel, hit the little bell to make sure you're seeing the videos, and thank you guys for joining me on another journey. I always like to see you there, see you here, so we'll see you next time. Have a great day until I see you next time. Hopefully these are coming out daily, that's the plan, so catch you later.